Some journeys begin with a single chair, and nothing is ever the same again.
Episode 21. The Voice Behind the Door. When Daniel stepped into the room this time, he paused for a moment. His eyes drifted from the ceiling lamp to the window. The sun, filtered through the curtain, left a pale line of light across the carpet, like a border separating inside from out. He sat without removing his coat, but this time didn't cross his arms. His hands rested on his knees, thumbs slowly rubbing in circles. It was the gesture of a man weighing the heaviness of his words.
Welcome, Daniel. Where do you want to start today?
Last week I told you, I need to find where the door is. This week, I saw it, but I didn't open it.
What happened?
Wednesday evening, I stopped by my mother's house to drop off some food. My daughter answered the door. She was in pajamas, her hair slightly messy, holding a book. The way she looked at me, so familiar yet so distant, it froze me. We stood there just looking. I said, "Hi," and asked, "Is your mom home?" She said, "Yes." Her voice held neither warmth nor coldness, just plain, short, measured. Between us there was only the gap of the doorway, but in that moment, that small gap felt like a summary of all the years.
What did you feel?
Like I had a key in my hand but didn't know which door it fit. I could have stepped in, crossed that line, but I didn't. Because I know, if I took that step, I wouldn't just enter the room, I'd be entering her life, her feelings. And honestly, I don't know how much space there's left for me in her life.
Is that hard for you?
Not hard, more like foreign. I've never been in her room. I've never looked through her books. I don't know what music she likes. I don't even recognize how her tone changes anymore. It's like we've been walking parallel, not side by side, for years. And that doorway, that was one of those parallel lines.
Daniel's voice slowed, deepened. The therapist kept steady eye contact. Sometimes, just listening said more than words ever could.
Then her mother came. She smiled and said, "Hello," but inside that smile was, "Time to go." My daughter moved to stand next to her. The door closed a little more. And I turned and left.
What did that remind you of?
Like watching a lost game. Knowing the score won't change, but still wanting to stay on the field. Sometimes I think, maybe the game never even started.
Do you realize? Every time you tell me about your daughter, there's a physical barrier between you. Door, glass, distance. It feels like that's the symbol of your story.
Yes. And sometimes that barrier is a line she's drawn. Sometimes it's a wall I've built.
A heavy silence filled the room. From down the hall, the faint scrape of a chair blended into the stillness. Daniel took a deep breath, lowering his gaze to the floor.
Last night I was on the balcony. I don't smoke, but I held an empty tea glass in my hand. On the balcony across the street, a father and daughter were sitting together. She was laughing, so freely, so fully. That laugh hit me like a stone, because that sound has never lived in our home.
What do you plan to do?
I don't know, but maybe I need to follow that laugh. Still, I'm scared. What if that laugh doesn't belong to me? What if in chasing it I push her even further away?
Maybe the first step isn't to chase the laugh, but to make space for it.
Daniel lifted his head, a faint smile forming at the corner of his lips. But his eyes were still fixed on a distant window, on another door waiting to be opened. And the listener couldn't help but wonder, when and how would that door finally open?
These stories are fictional, but the emotions they stir might be real. See you in the next one.